Hey everyone, today we are coming back to one of my favorite tanks in the fish room. This 125 gallon full of Mylochromis anaphyrmus. This is a beautiful and rare haplochromine from Lake Malawi. And friends of the channel will know that it's one of my absolute favorite fish. But we did some changes on this tank recently. We've moved some stuff around, and I was just wanting to take a few minutes to talk you through what we've done and give you a little update here. And you know, I think it's turned out really good. I like how it looks a lot. First off, why did we change anything at all? I've always liked this tank. It's always, in my opinion, looked really good. Well, we changed some stuff because we had to move this whole rack of 125s. Viewers of the channel will know that we are actually in the process of preparing for a really big addition to the fish room. And to that end, I needed to take these tanks, they used to be scooched over here, I needed to take them and move them down a little bit to create some more space. And that was actually a much bigger project than I had anticipated. It always is. Things always take a lot more work than I think they will. But because, you know, we had to move everything, I figured we would take the opportunity. For the first change, I figured we would use the opportunity to rescape the tank. So the scape used to look a little different. We had these same rocks, but there was more of a structure over here, a really tall structure that kind of swooped down and pulled over into like a little alcove. And that looked great. But you know, hey, I love the opportunity to rescape whenever I get the chance. So I figured we would, you know, switch it up a bit. Now we have sort of 3 distinct piles. That is a distinct formation, and this one right here kind of flows into this over here. But I like how this turned out. We still have these kind of little alcoves in here for the fish to hang out in. You know, we have this a good line of sight blockage from right in here. Any fish that want to hang out in here will be very well protected from, you know, any fish in the rest of the tank. And obviously there's space behind them, and there's some space even within the rocks and then back here. So I like how this scape turned out. And if you just step back and look at it, I like its simplicity. It's not overly involved, and I think it really puts on display the fish that we have in here. This type of fish is more of an open water swimmer. They still like to have cover when needed to you know, hide from aggressive tank mates. But for the most part, they are an open water swimmer. So they like having all that space. So I like this change. I don't know, do you like it? Let me know what you think. The other big adjustment to this tank, we actually added more females of the Mylochromis. So for the longest time, we had 6 of these males with only 3 females. And it worked out. The females were always very healthy and happy. They never got injured. But it wasn't the best in terms of like breeding programs. And you know, I could tell the females, they wanted more company. So separately, we've actually been raising up some juveniles. This is one of them. And recently I felt like they had finally gotten to the size that they could be put into this tank. So now we have 7 females to these 6 males. And I think that's a much better ratio. I think we're gonna get better color from the males. I think they have more females to display for, obviously. So I think we'll get better color overall. And I think the tank harmony will be much improved. The third big change, we added a new species. We have these. These are Libidochromis caeruleus. Let's get a better shot. Here's some down here. Now you might be thinking, hey, Libidochromis caeruleus, that's a yellow lab. These aren't yellow. Yeah, you're right. But these are yellow. These are yellow labs. They're the same species, but they're a different collection point. They're called zebra labs, and I think they are so cool. So we have 6 zebra labs in here, and I think they complement the Mylochromis very well. I think their colors and personality, I think these fish will go together quite nicely. I mean, I think they're just so cool. It's a very unique fish. You won't see this for sale very many places. That's one of the males. And then we have some females. They're sort of like a pale blue, whitish blue. I think they're really cool. There's another variant of this species that is all white with black fins. That's a very cool fish as well. But let's move on. We did one more change to this setup, and I think this is probably the most impactful change. We actually changed the lights that we have up here, but I love these lights. I think they really bring out the colors in the fish. And yeah, sure, I have the blue setting on the lights turned up a little bit, but not as much as you might think. I mean, these fish are just naturally a striking blue and aquamarine coloration. And these lights just, for some reason, do a great job bringing that color out. Yeah, so, I think these have been some very value-adding positive edits to this setup. I think this tank has always been one of my favorites. I know I say that about every tank, but it's true in this case. This tank has always been one of my favorites, and this, I think, just reinforces it. I could just sit here in my chair and stare at that thing all day long. And obviously I have other tanks, but the lights are not on right now, but I could just stare at this one all day. But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this update on the fish room. Stay tuned, we got a lot of updates coming as we continue working towards building our new massive monster tank. I got some videos in the near future, hopefully coming out on that. In the meantime, take it easy everyone. I'll see you next time.